everybody, it's Tristan Shuffles here with another Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel deck profile, and even if you're just here for the deck list, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, because it really makes a difference for the channel. Today, I'm doing a deck profile not on Sword Soul, as you might expect from this giant image of Arch Nemesis Protoss, but Ritual Beast, which just got new support in the latest set. Ritual Beast is actually pretty well suited to the current meta, because it can play under Dimension Shifter, which Tenpai is playing, and if you go first, which Tenpai will make you do, you can special summon Arch Nemesis Protoss as part of the mainline combo with a fire monster on board, declare the fire attribute, and then your Tenpai opponent just won't be able to summon their fire monsters, effectively locking them out of the game and securing your victory on the next turn. Having said that, this is one of the most complicated decks I've ever played, particularly because you have one set of combo lines that you follow when you draw Dimension Shifter, and another set of combo lines where you have access to your graveyard, i.e. you haven't drawn Dimension Shifter. Another key card is the new Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara. This fixed a lot of the problems with the deck, where you get an additional normal summon by discarding this card, allowing you to play around the restrictions where many Ritual Beasts can only be special summoned once per turn. And when it's banished by the effect of Canahawk or Gold Sarcophagus, or even from the graveyard, you can special summon a Ritual Beast directly from your deck. Lara also offers destruction protection to your Ritual Beasts on field, so it's always good to have one copy of this in the graveyard to protect the new Ritual Beast monster, Ritual Beast, Ulti Ray, Rao, Tari. We have 3 copies of Maxx C because we're playing a 40-card Master Duel deck. This deck is very weak to Maxx C. However, nobody's been drawing it today, so we're not going to see that in any of the games. That's just the way things go sometimes. Ritual Beast Tamer Elder. After you normal summon this card, you can normal summon 1 Ritual Beast monster during your main phase in addition to your normal summoner set. It's an effect that you gain as the player. So sometimes your opponent will waste something like Infinite Impermanence on this, and you can just normal summon your main combo starters, the Spiritual Beast Canahawk, or the Spiritual Beast Rampengu, and proceed to play without that interruption from your opponent. I've talked about the Nemesis package a little already, but Nemesis Flag can be searched by Infernal Flame Banshee, which you can usually special summon from the extra deck at the end of many of your combo lines. And the famous Spiritual Beast Canahawk. This is my favorite combo starter from what I've experimented with so far. You can banish 1 Ritual Beast card from your deck face up, and then you get to add it back in the second standby phase after this effect's activation. That is rarely ever going to happen. I guess originally they wanted you to be thinking 3 turns ahead about which Ritual Beast you wanted, but now you can just banish Lara directly from the deck and special summon a Tamer like the otherwise pretty useless original Ritual Beast Tamer Lara, so that you can contact fuse those off into Ulti Canahawk, which starts all your combo lines, because with Canahawk, once per turn, you target 2 of your banished Ritual Beast cards, return them into the graveyard, and if you do, add 1 Ritual Beast card from your deck to your hand. You will be returning 1 of those Ritual Beast cards to the graveyard, but you're going to also want to chain its second effect, the quick effect of targeting 2 of the banished monsters and special summoning them, so that you can loop this and get a lot of adds. The other level 4 starter for this deck is the Spiritual Beast Rampengu. Once per turn during your main phase, you can banish 1 Ritual Beast monster from your extra deck and send 1 Ritual Beast monster with the same type as that monster from your deck to the graveyard. So, when you're bringing out Rampengu as part of the Canahawk line, you can send the Spiritual Beast Tamer Winda by banishing the Psychic Ritual Beast Ulti Gaia-Pello. And don't worry, you can always bring that back to the extra deck with cards like Nemesis Flag and Nemesis Corridor later on. Another great thing about Rampengu is that when you send a Ritual Beast monster from your deck to the graveyard with its effect, you're going to probably be sending Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara so that you can banish her for Ritual Beast Ulti Nochiu Drago, which is a good extender, and also has this additional effect where Your opponent can now target other Ritual Beast monsters you control with card effects. So that's pretty good. Next up, we have Ritual Beast Inheritance. This unbricks you a lot of the time because you can reveal a Ritual Beast, add a different Ritual Beast monster with a different type from your deck to your hand, and then discard one card. This also lets you put more Ritual Beasts in the graveyard for something like Protoss when you're in a pinch. Emergency Teleport is a good extender. It also lets you bring out the old Lara or the new Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara instantaneously. Book of Eclipse. This card is particularly powerful in this deck because you can still use your contact fusions. You might be noticing though that I'm not playing the Master Duel regulated 2 Called by the Grave and 1 Cross-Out Designator that people generally play to fight off Maxx C. I haven't really needed them in this deck. I feel like if someone uses Maxx C against you, you just take the challenge and then lock them out of either fire or dark attribute monsters. Ritual Beast Steeds. This is the last Ritual Beast card that you add in the combo line so that you can have that non-targeting destruction up to the number of Ritual Beast monsters you currently control. 3 Evenly Matched. These could have been infinite impermanences, but aside from not surviving against Tenpai, Evenly Matched still feels pretty strong. I might switch it out. So let's quickly summarize the extra deck. We have Ritual Beast Ulti Apelio, Canhawk, which we've talked about at length, Nochi Drago, which we've talked about, Thunder Dragon Colossus, Ritual Beast Ulti Guy Apelio, Bagooska, the Terribly Tired Tapir. Sometimes you can still defeat your opponent if you can't add Protoss for some reason. This locks out a lot of monster effects that are not Link monsters from activating on the field. Infernal Flame Banshee, this is to add Nemesis Flag. Super Star Slayer Typhon. I might cut this. It depends on how many times you get stuck, but I've been going first a lot because of Tenpai, so maybe it's worth cutting this. We'll see. Link Karibo. Sometimes you need to link off Lara, and this could hypothetically protect you in the battle phase, but most of the time it's going to be 1/2 of SP Little Knight to get her extra banish effect. Ritual Beast Ulti Human Falcos. This one gives you an extra normal summon as long as you're banishing from the graveyard. So that's what we use that for, and we link it off most of the time to get the link for Ritual Beast Ulti Rei Rautari. So, now that we've covered the key cards, let's get into those games. The first duel we have is against Tenpai. We are going first. The opponent has chosen to go second, telegraphing that they're on Tenpai. To start off, we can normal summon the Elder, getting that extra normal summon effect. Use the Rampengu, but they use Ash Blossom there, so we can't get to Lara. But we can get to Lara if we search for it with Ulti Canhawk here. Use the extra normal summon from Lara, bring out the Tamer Zenla Metallica, then the Uchi Drago, and the Canhawk from deck. And we return the materials here, the Ulti Canhawk. Bringing back the Tamer Winda that we banished, and Rampengu. Use Rampengu again to get another Lara into the graveyard for that protection. And we link summon into the Ulti Human Falcos, giving us one more normal summon here, as long as we banish the Lara, but we can put it back. And then we use Wen to special summon Lara again. Could have gotten another surge off of Canhawk there, but was running a little low on time. I wanted to get out the Ulti Rei Rautari. We use that effect, bring back the Canhawk, and banish the last beast in the deck, the Pelio. And then we bring that back along with the Tamer that we haven't special summoned to get Ritual Beast Steeds. Then use Flame Banshee to get its search effect for Nemesis Flag. We have Protoss in hand, so we can search for Nemesis Corridor. Link those off in SP Little Knight. And here I ran out of time, so I could only summon Colossus, and that Protoss is just stuck in hand, but we're still able to manage even against Tenpai here. Steeds gets destroyed. They normal summon Genroku and Chundra, but we can banish Chundra at the right time With the loss of our Link 4, now they can't really recover from here because now I have time to summon Protoss, and they realize that I can declare fire, and it's over for them from there. So even without Protoss turn 1, that was still a good game. In this duel I chose to go first, so I didn't know if my opponent was on Tenpai. Draw for turn. I played Dimension Shifter right off the bat, and since they didn't scoop right there, I knew that they were on a deck that didn't care about Dimension Shifter to some extent. And we'll see, it's actually interesting that they were on Voiceless Voice, and they play around the Dimension Shifter really well, which is why I want to show off this game. We bring back the 2 materials and get the extra banish off of Cannahawk there, and summon the Keeman Falcus again. Do a similar line to last time. We use Wen to bring back the Rampengu that we banished. Banish 1 more Tamer. Put 2 materials back into the graveyard to get the Elder for extra normal summon later. Banish those materials for the Uchi Drago. Bring out the Link 4. Bring back the Cannahawk. You get the normal summon here. I actually went for the Winda because I was running low on time. And didn't need another banish because I had everything I needed in rotation. And just wanted to get to the Flame Banshee, get to the Nemesis Flag, search the Protoss, banish the materials for Protoss. That actually brings back the Flame Banshee, destroy our fire monsters, and that's it, but we still have that banish, we just don't have the steeds. Here I thought I was locking out my opponent's Shifter deck from fire monsters like Tenpai, but they're on Voiceless Voice. They're still under Shifter. I know that this is the most important card because the barrier gives the targeting protection, so all they have left after that is Typhon. We can bounce Protoss back to hand, but we can actually special summon it again, evenly match for 1 card, which doesn't feel too strong, but I'm still glad I had it. Draw for turn. Use the Cannahawk here, and they start making some plays because they're able to bring out Low of the Voiceless Voice and Ritual Summon on my turn. Okay, they've got the Skull Guardian, and they have a Negate up. And they have the Cerebus, which means I can't target any of their monsters. But we have everything banished that we need. Bring out the Ulti Cannahawk, use Lara's extra normal summon, but unfortunately that gets negated by Call by the Grave. But we can still banish those materials for the second Uchi Drago, and I didn't want to play any further because they could negate this Ulti Cannahawk effect unless I clear out the Low of the Voiceless Voice first. So now I can continue to play with Cannahawk and get the Ritual Beast Steeds that we missed out on the last turn. Bring back the old Lara and the Spiritual Beast Rampengu. Link that off to Linkuriboh. Link that off into SP Little Knight to banish their back row. And then we bring up Protoss again and declare Light, which is pretty devastating for them now that we know what they're playing. They use the Radiance of the Voiceless Voice, but they can't summon that Cerebus they search, so they have to scoop it up after that. It's time for Game 3, and in this new Tenpai meta, it took me a long time to find a game where a player actually chose to go first, but we're going second, and we've got the evenly matched, so it can do its job as a board breaker here. No hand traps though, allowing them to go into Reasoning. I declared level 1 because I saw they were on a 60 card deck, and I'm thinking they might be trying out the new Infernoid cards, and they are. They get some good mills here, but not too many, and as soon as they reach the Decatron, that gets sent to the graveyard instead of special summoned, which is great because otherwise that would have been a negate. But they have another Decatron in hand. They bring out the new Flame Tongue, the Burning Blade. Bring back one of their monsters from the banishment. That's interesting. They bring out the Promethean Princess, which we've seen a lot of times. They can loop Decatron because it's not once per turn at all. They bring out another material so they can link that off for Infernoid Flood. And bring out the level 6 yet to go into Beatrice? Uh-oh. Well, luckily the Inferno monster they just brought out from the hand doesn't negate spell or trap cards and only negates monster effects. So I know that they've sent the transaction rollback and now they've sent the Mayakashi trap. We have to bait that out by using the emergency teleport, then they lock us out of all kinds of special summoning. But we can still play evenly matched, which is devastating for them, and use Ritual Beast Inheritance get into our best starter, the Cannahawk, and I summoned a Palliad to hopefully not die on the next turn. They draw for turn. They don't have that much material in the graveyard. They're able to banish the Void Reignition to get Infernoid Flood's banish effect, but they don't have any other Infernoids that they can special summon. which means they have to end on setting 1 and passing after dealing 3,000 points of damage there. We search for the Spiritual Beast Tamer Lara, so this in the graveyard, so that it can be banished for the Nochi Drago. And the opponent sees that as a threat, gets rid of it, but we've got the extra special summon from Lara, so they have to pretty much scoop it up after that with only 4,000 life points left. So we're back with the deck list, and I think that playing board breakers instead of the more traditional counters to Max C ultimately paid off, and that this deck is really well suited to the current meta, where you'll be facing a lot of Tenpai Dragon. I did replace the 1 copy of Typhon in the extra deck with Access Code Talker, just to ensure that this deck can close out certain games, and I know that there are lines that you can do to summon Apollousa, Bow of the Goddess, with this deck, but for now I'm focused on getting as many Ulti-Canalic searches into 1 turn as possible, because the enemy of this deck is not Tenpai Dragon, it is the Master Duel turn timer. So make sure to get your searches in, and you will find success with this deck as well. I'm looking forward to making new videos about this brand new set, so remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.